to my channel. So today I'll be showing you guys how to make the top part of this two-piece. And the first thing you're going to do is to divide your bust measurement. You're going to add 12 to it, right? So I'm working with 40 bust of 40 inches, that's round, plus 12 inches, that's going to be 52. 40 plus 12, that's going to be 52. You're going to use this 12 constant for anybody. Any measurement you're using for the bust, just add 12 to it. That's the constant for everybody. So the 12 inches is basically a constant for everybody. It's just the amount of seam allowances you're going to need. So if you add it all together, you're going to get the 12 inches. So after that, now the next thing we're going to go, so after that you're going to divide whatever you got by 4. So for me, I got 13. So your bust measurement plus 12 divided by 4. So I got 13, and then I cut the 13 as the width. And as you can see, I have 2 of the fabric here. One is my back pattern, one is the front pattern, and I separated it. And as you can see, the fabric is on fold. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to, so guys, after marking the width, so now the next thing we're going to do is to move over to figure out the length. And to measure out the length, what we're going to do is we're going to place our tape. So this is normally what your shoulder would look like, your shoulder slant. And I'm just trying to show you guys. So your shoulder slant and then the neckline. There's what I'm drawing over there. So the next thing, you're going to place your tape. So let's say that's your shoulder point where the beginning of the tape is. So you figure out that my fabric is at 7. So I'm saying that it means this 7 is where the top is going to start, right? So that's how much you want it to, how much cleavage you want at the top. If you want, you can bring it down up to 8. So but the length is going to be 16. So I added 1 inch to it. So it's going to end at 16. I added 1 inch for my seam allowance, so that's why you have 17. So so at the waist, we're going to start shaping it now. So we'll come down to the waist part. Your waist, you're going to add 12 to it, your round waist measurement plus 12, and then you're going to divide it by 4. The same thing we did for the bust, because remember we used the bust to determine the width of this fabric, using the same calculation, because the bust is the widest part of. I'm working with is 33 plus 12 is 45 divided by 4, that's 11.25. So what I'm going to do here is to mark that here. So just go down and mark it on your waist, and then you're going to connect these 2 lines. Connect the line of your waist down to this angle here. So I'm just going to connect it down. So what you're going to do is to cut this out. If you've been on this channel long enough, you know that, like, you will know this method already, because this is what I normally use to cut. Because this is normally the method I use for cutting like a sweetheart neckline. So what I'm going to do now is, for the back bodies, I'm just going to set the back bodies aside, right? So this is my back bodies. All I did now is just to shape out the waist, and then I'm going to take the front bodies and continue working on it. So what you're going to do now is to check your nipple to nipple measurement. What you're going to do now is to divide your breast point measurement. So I'm working with breast point of 7. I'm dividing it by 2. So I'm going to have 7 divided by 2, that's going to be 3.5, right? So I'm going to add 1 inch to it, so that's going to be 4.5. So that's what I'm going to have all the way here. So you see what I did here. So you're going to take the center of your fabric. This is my front body. Just fold it into 2 and make sure that that measurement you got fits in all the way here. So I have 4.5 all the way to the end here, right? So the next thing you're going to do is to place back your tape, right? So the same way we placed it back again, 7. I make sure that I know my top is starting at 7. So I put my tape at 7. What you're going to do next, you're not going to do it on the folded part. You're going to do it on the side that joins to the body here. That's where we're going to put in all our marking, not at the middle, like the part that has this fold. Is the end on this side. So what you're going to do is you're going to place back your tape, and then you're going to mark your shoulder to so my shoulder to breast point is about 12 inches, right? And then my shoulder to my under bust is 14. It's normally like 2 inches below your shoulder to breast point. And then my shoulder to waist I'm working with is about 16 inches here. So I'm going to mark that here. So what you're going to do is just come in on your waistline. You're going to mark half an inch. Go up on this one, you're going to mark 0.75. So on the waist one, you're going to mark 0.5. On the middle one, you're going to mark, or your under bust one, you're going to mark 0.75. On your waist, you're going to mark 0.5, and then this one you're not going to mark anything, but at the top part of it, you're going to come in by 1 inch, right? You're going to mark 1 inch here, and then what you're going to do is just to connect all these lines together. Just you're going to connect this down here, connect this down to this one, and then connect this down and out. So all you're going to do now is just to cut this out. So guys, when you finish that, the next thing you're going to do is at this center now, you can just come down by 2 inches, or how deep you want your V to be. You're going to mark it, and then you're going to connect this point here to this point. So I'm just going to connect these two lines together now. It depends on how deep you want the V to be, and then I'm going to cut it out. The next thing you're going to do after this, remember, so I've cut this out. The next thing here is on this line, you know this is going to be the side that joins to your armhole. Another thing you can do is to also mark like 2 inches down, or 1.5 depending on you. You can make it the same length as the V, and then you're going to connect it, right? Just connect it down this way, and then cut it out. And so after that, you're going to take your back bodice, right? I'm going to take my back bodice, place this here also. Place the side of my front bodice to it, so that I'm sure of the length I'm using for the side, because the two sides are going to meet each other. So this is where I'm working with. I'm going to mark it here, and then I'm going to just cut it all along this line. So I'm just going to maintain a straight line for this here. And then when I'm done, so this is going to be my back bodice. I'm going to go ahead and open up this part here. So this is going to be the back bodice. All I have to do is trace my lining, and then give it a straight dart all the way to the back down part here, all the way to the end here for my back. And then for my front, this is what it looks like. I'm going to also trace a dart. I'm going to trace my lining for it. So this is one side, this is the other side, and then this is the center. So I'm going to trace my lining that looks exactly like this. I'm going to trace lining that looks exactly like this 3-piece here, and also the back panel, and then I'm going to use it to finish this up. Remember, you can reduce the length of your own if you want it as cropped as the picture, but this one here came down a little bit. So guys, I've traced my lining for each of them. So what I have to do now is to go ahead and join the pieces for the front, and then join the one for the back. Same thing for the lining. So I'm going to join the main bodies together separately, and then join the lining separately. So guys, this is it here for the back. So like I said before, you see what I did here? On the inside, I joined the top part with the lining, joined the bottom with the lining, flipped it out, and then gave it a dart here. I did it for the two sides of the back. You see, so this remaining side here is just my seam allowance, and my zip is going to be facing down because I don't have that zip that comes separately, and you just have to, you know, that jacket zip that you fit in and then you zip it up. I don't have that. So since I'm using just ordinary zip that comes attached together already, so I'm just going to stitch about 1 inch up here and then put the zip facing downward. But if you have that zip that comes separately, then it can be easier to wear, because the purpose of stitching it up here is just so that my zip will be it will be easy to zip it down. But because if I zip it up, then I won't be able to make this bottom part as fitted as I would want it to be. So the next, let me show you guys for the front. You see what I did here? So you basically join your 3-piece of your lining, the 3-piece of the body here, and then you go ahead, close up the top part, close up the bottom part here, and then what you have to do is just notch out all the excess, and then from in here you flip it out and iron it, right? You flip it out, iron it, and then you join this side to the side seam, you join the two side seam, and then you join the other two side seam. You see? So that's it, and then you put your zip. But if you don't want to have any side seam, another thing you can do is just join the whole front and back bodies together, join all your lining together, and then before you attach it at the top, so you're attaching everything once. But this way, the reason why I'm doing it like this is so that I can see my seam, and in case I need to adjust it, I can be able to just take it in anytime. Because if the seams are hidden inside of the lining, I can't be able to do that. So I'll just go ahead and stitch mine and then put in the zip. So guys, this is it here. It's done. And so you see the back. What I was saying about the zip was too long, so I just cut it short. But you see, I made it to face down so that you can be able to wear it, because if you put it the other way, it will be hard to wear, because this part will be smaller and it will restrict it more. So you see, this is the inside. So you see, when I cut off the rest of the zip, when I cut it off, I just went ahead and sewed it open this way. The flap, I sewed it this way, and then this is my zip. So you can see the inside is quite neat. So yeah, this is it here. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Bye.